Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Alex Curry here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys. How are we doing today?
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, about all I learned from last night's Hard Knocks, episode 4, Jerry lives on Whataburgers. But you had to wait till the very end of the episode to see that.
Yes.
Not exactly a recipe for long life. I'm not.
Skip, I kind of like last night better than all the rest of them.
You're kidding.
Because of the stories, because you get an opportunity to see the team building, what goes into it. Michael Parsons' mom cooking and things of that nature. You see the guy. I like that, getting the guys together.
Really?
You can build a team like that, Skip. I'm not saying y'all going to win anything.
I think you just predicted we're going to be really good. Thank you.
No, I don't know about all that.
Well, let's get started with Dallas, because amid reports that Dallas would do its due diligence on Cam Newton as a potential backup to Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones said that the team is confident in Cooper Rush in that position. Jerry told a local Dallas radio show that, quote, "It's a high bar when you got the background in it that Cooper's got. Cam Newton is now a free agent and may need to wait until an injury to get a chance to join another roster." So, Shannon, where do you see Cam going from here, and can you see him with the Cowboys?
Did Jerry just say that Cooper Rush and a high bar?
Yeah, raved about him. He can run every play in the book that Dak can run.
No, he can't. Because if that's the case, you wouldn't have gave $160 million to Dak Prescott. You could have saved yourself about $150 million and paid Cooper Rush.
Remember, they had paid Cooper Rush last year until Andy Dalton became available.
And then they cut him.
Yeah, here we go.
But he can run all the plays that Dak, but he couldn't run all the plays that Andy Dalton could run. But that's another story, Skip.
Okay.
Look, I think one of the things that's going to – look, I talked to someone close to Cam, and what I was told is that Cam would not have a problem being a backup. He says, I don't want that out there, that Cam is opposed to being a backup. Cam wants to get to a good situation, and we'll go from there. We'll take it from there. The problem that I think he runs into Dallas, and maybe he changes his stance because it might impact his employment, is the vaccine. And so if and willing, because Jerry's made it abundantly clear, he wants his guys vaccinated. That was one of the things he voiced that. It ain't no, I wonder what Jerry thinks about this. That's one thing about Jerry Jones. You know exactly where he stands on certain issues, Skip.
Yep.
He'll put it out there. So
aren't we about to the point where everybody's going to require it?
I believe so, Skip. Urban Meyer, we knew this, but Urban Meyer voiced it. Yeah, we cut some players that were unvaccinated.
Yeah.
The guy in Buffalo.
He said it was a consideration for the cut. Yes. Yep.
Buffalo, the same thing. We considered cutting play, which means we did. I think everybody's factoring that into it, Skip. And I said this. If it's close, if I got two players and it's close, one's vaccinated, one isn't, guess which one I'm choosing? Because the guy that's unvaccinated could blow up my season. He can impact the entire locker room. That's not to say that vaccinated players can't get it. They're less likely to get it. They're less likely to suffer the severe side effects. And they're less likely to require hospitalization. So that's where we are with that. But, Skip, I do think, he probably would like to look at Dallas if Dallas is interested. I think Houston would be a better fit considering what they have at the quarterback position, Skip. Because I think you and I are in agreement on this. Deshaun Watson is no longer playing for the Houston Texans.
They kept him on the roster, but I'm pretty sure his days are done. And that was his choice, right?
Correct. Correct. I'm thinking that he's probably going to be on the commissioner's exempt list, and then they're going to try to work out something behind the scenes to move him somewhere, considering what they can get. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Another thing, Skip, Cam's a good guy. Cam is not a bad guy. Cam doesn't get in trouble.
No.
But maybe his personality, the outgoingness, maybe he has to temper that.
It is a huge natural personality.
It is.
He was born with it.
And that's him. Jerry is the personality for the Cowboys.
Well,
we don't normally say this about an owner, but Jerry Jones is the face of the Cowboys. And when you think Dallas Cowboys, you don't think a particular player, you think of its owner. And it's very seldom that you see that. You go back to maybe Al Davis and Mr. George Steinbrenner. Other than that, Skip, it's always been the best player, whatever the sport is, that's the face of the team. But that's not how it worked with the Cowboys. So maybe Cam needs to temper. It's a big blow, Skip. This is the second time Cam has been released. He got released by Carolina unexpectedly. He got released by the Patriots. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Maybe but Mac Jones played extremely well. And I'm listening to the reports coming out of New England. What was one of the biggest turning points, Skip? Those 3 days that Cam Newton was not there to practice. And I said it. Cam, you give this kid an opening. The vaccinations, quietly behind the scenes, there are a lot of rumblings about being vaccinated. Hold on, you got this last year. You ain't learned your lesson. You might blow my entire season up. So I think that had a lot to do with it. Hell, you looking at a guy across from you, Skip. Hell, that's how I got my chance. Clarence K got hurt. Orson Mobley got hurt. Chris Verhulst got hurt. Coach Reed said, well, what do you think about this? They put me in the game. I wasn't great, but I did. They're like, hold on. We might be on to something.
7th round pick.
Guess what? Guess who kept starting? Guess who ended up getting released?
Guess who went to the Hall of Fame?
That's how it worked.
Okay.
I would have never got an opportunity at the tight end position. I was still a wide receiver. So Cam opened the door. The kid walked through. It wasn't like the kid was playing basket. People were like, oh, they get no. This kid was playing outstanding. This was a neck-and-neck race. But Cam made it a neck-and-neck race because of some of the things that he did.
He did.
But I think the Cowboys would be an option, but I like the Houston Texans as a better option.
Okay. Let me get my fandom out of the way first. I'm obviously just born and raised a Cowboy fan.
Yes.
So I don't think objectively or sometimes clearly when it comes to my team.
You don't.
But at the end of the show yesterday, when I believe it was Josina Anderson who tweeted that, hey, the Cowboys are at least going to do their due diligence and take a hard look at Cam's availability.
Right.
It just hit me bolt out of the blue where sometimes you hear an idea and it's like, aha, bingo, love it. Because I've always been a Cam fan, but he's not for everybody.
Right.
But it feels like he would be perfect for my team called America's team, almost like he was born to play in Dallas, Texas for the Dallas Cowboys. All of a sudden, we're down to Cooper Rush. It looked like it was going to be Garrett Gilbert, and they tried to force Ben DiNucci in the mix, and those two are gone now, and it came down to Cooper Rush is back, and he's back in good graces, and Jerry on his radio show 2 days ago raved about Cooper Rush, as you just pointed out. I got reams of quotes here, but I don't even want to read them because they go in one ear and out the other because it's Cooper Rush.
Right.
And even though he played well against those Houston Texans 2 preseason games back, in the one Sunday, which was morning here in L.A. that I watched, Cooper Rush was not very good and was so unimpressive that I remained unconvinced about Cooper Rush as the backup quarterback. Andy Dalton was a verified, bona fide, trustable backup quarterback last year, so I was very happy with that, and I trusted that going into a season when, obviously, he was called upon. If Cam Newton were called upon, hypothetically, for these Dallas Cowboys, I think he would be a great fit.
So do I.
I think he would light up to the stage, and the stage would love him.
He'd be a better fit than Cooper Rush.
Okay, he would. Help me out here. I'm just going to boil it down to, hypothetically, if Cam had to play, let's do 7 games this year, and Cooper Rush had to play 7 games, who would do better? Who would have the better record?
Cam.
It's Cam. It's not even to say that in several other situations about starting quarterbacks. But it just, listen, Jerry is the ultimate showman. As we had that quote from an anonymous agent last week. Nobody runs the business of pro football better than Jerry Jones because he knows how to sell tickets. It's all about the marquee value, and he places that as a priority to me above winning football games.
I agree.
Right?
Yes.
So Cam fits the bill because Cam is as great a showman quarterback as we've ever had. I enjoy watching all of his antics. I don't think Belichick liked it because it's not the Patriot way. And it was always square peg and round hole, and it never quite into the...
It almost looks like Coach Belichick tolerated it.
He did.
He didn't like it. It looked like he tolerated it.
Well, he didn't have any choice.